Okay, so I think I finally have the volume as balanced as I'm going to get it. Let's play TESLAPUNK. This is a vertically scrolling shoot 'em up made by a small team of 3 dudes, Fleisch Films, and published by Klutz Games. It's originally from Germany. This is a cool little shooter I found on Xbox's Marketplace, and I'd done a video before, but it was just a brief playthrough with no commentary. And when I'm coming back and playing this game recently, I realized I actually want to talk about it a little bit because it has some pretty cool features, and overall, it's just an interesting, inexpensive, fun shooter for people that are into shoot 'em ups. I don't know that I would recommend this to people that normally aren't, because there's nothing here that's it does have selectable difficulty levels, and besides the regular arcade mode, it has a survival mode that has overall. I would say this is more rather than gaming audience. Okay, so the other thing is even though I have the volume, it's kind of a quiet, so the volume's still not going to be perfect overall. You may have to turn the volume up to even hear me, but don't turn it up too loud, because this game actually does get a little bit louder as it goes on, especially past levels. The story here is you are by Mark, led by a Martian DJ named what is his name? He's Martian DJ, and he is invading the Earth. So you, as Nikola Tesla, are going to use your into electricity and death rays, and you're going to hop in a machine and shoot down the Martian invader. A lot like a mixture of. So you can ignore those gallery pictures for now. I'll show those after the main gameplay. First thing I'm going to do is the main arcade, and I'm actually going to put it down to novice severely, but I want to do this so I can actually make it all the way through the game in as few continues as possible. If I put it on advanced, it's going to take me a long time to get through, and I've never beat it highest difficulty, so we're going to start on novice, but I am going to show later the cool dynamic difficulty this game has. Okay, so I'll start out. Hello, I'm Nikola Tesla. I thought it was Nikolai Tesla. Anyway, your ship has 2 spread shot that deals weaker damage but has a lot of enemies. You can still at full to my right trigger. I recommend to people playing it with a controller. Put the spread shot on your right trigger and the focus beam on your left trigger. Okay, your secondary weapon is a powerful laser where you hold down A. That's default mapping. Like I said, I put it on left trigger. But it says you want to use that and more threatening enemies and bosses. So that's the main core gameplay between these 5, based on how much dodging you have to do, because you're slower when you're using that focused laser beam, but it does have noticeable PS. So right here, that's the focused laser. This is a laser, and then this is a spread. And notice how I can move a little bit faster back and forth. Alright, there's Emperor Zangorax. Nevertheless, I will crush. Okay, I think in a second they're going to explain these voltage cubes I'm picking up. And notice you can move up and down as well as left and right, so you have X and Y. Nikola Tesla says, don't worry, you're in the center of the ship. And that's definitely an important point, because your ship is relatively big, but the hit and up in the later levels or at higher difficulties when the bullet patterns get pretty much turns into a bullet hell. Blue voltage cubes fill up your voltage tanks. Each tank lets you perform a mega attack called voltage burst by pressing B. It cancel pliers. The other big gameplay mechanic. So you have the risk reward of choosing between the different firing modes, and the other thing is wanting to pick up as many voltage cubes as you can and using them first off to clear the screen of bullets and raise your multiplier, second off because it fires out a much more intense death beam that does really good damage, especially to bosses. It makes them quicker. Now the game does have a dynamic difficulty you can enable where it's higher, the game actually difficult, with patterns becoming faster, bullet spread Later, we're starting off on Novice, so that stuff doesn't change with the multiplier. The multiplier just changes your points. So like right there, that's firing Mega Death Ray Voltage Burst and increasing the multiplier. Now you notice now the multiplier is decaying. And it's going to keep doing that until I either get to the boss, finish the level, or fire off another Death Burst like this. And you are also invincible during that Voltage Burst. And here's the last important point. The ship automatically Voltage Burst when you are hit, provided you have at least 2 full voltage tanks. And it's going to blow both of them to fire what you normally... So it's not lie on this purposely. Enough with these tips and tricks already! I shall conquer your planet and enslave all humans! Destroy! So yeah, you want to fire that voltage burst when there's a lot of stuff on the screen, that way you can get your multiplier high. It's time to teach that kooky Martian a lesson. Hey! Ho! Let's go! Huh. Got a nice little Ramones out of nowhere. Entering level 1. Voltage Burst makes you an invincible god, only for the time it's active though. Okay, so the next thing is these Death Ray missions that show up. Few. So these are some of the more difficult ones. These little you can complete, and when you do so, you will get parts built towards Nikola Tesla's big Death Ray. And I'm not sure what exactly happens when you complete the entire thing. I've completed a few sub of that a little bit later. But yeah, right now these missions I'm on, they're pretty difficult. Boss with a multiplier of it, which that means you need to have 100 bullets at some point, not gotten hit by the time you... the other one, reach a multiplier of 1500. You can't even do that on Novice. On Novice, it caps your multiplier at 999. Advanced caps you at 1.9, I believe, and then Expert 900. No, Expert's 4,900, and then I think the dynamic difficulty caps you at 2,999. The other one, High Score 2 mission is Score 7 points. That's not that difficult if you're playing on Expert, because the points come in a lot faster. However, the game is much more difficult and you have less lives, and when you continue, you lose all your points. So, the highest I've done on Novice is only 56 million. But I'm going to see if hopefully I can beat that on this stream, because more lately, and I don't know, we'll see how that goes. You'll notice over here at the kind of bottom right area, they have little things that pop up, either little text things or pictures. Sometimes it'll be like the enemies or the boss taunting you. Sometimes it's just like meaningless little humor things. They're kind of funny. I found them a little bit distracting when I first started playing this, but now I sort of don't even notice them most of the time unless I'm purposely looking like between enemy waves. Like I said, this game is quieter at first. It gets louder at later levels. I'm going to try not to talk too much during these first couple ones so you can actually hear stuff. It is interesting though, one of the obvious design choices about this game is that it's more important to use your bomb item, which in this game is that voltage burst ray. It's more important to use it to clear the screen and raise your multiplier rather than doing damage. It's primarily for the multiplier, secondarily to clear the screen. Damage is last, whereas most games damage is first, clearing the screen might be second, and if there's a multiplier element that would be like last. So this right here is a midpoint boss. Every stage has at least one midpoint boss, as well as an actual boss at the end. And I like that because they're usually pretty fun. And the patterns aren't too difficult. Oh my goodness, my freaking audio is cutting out in my right earpiece. I wasn't doing that during the 4 different volume tests I was doing. Of course, it would start doing that during the actual stream. The reason I had to do so many tests, by the way, and the reason the volume's wonky is because I'm doing this through Twitch, and this is my first time recording the direct mic audio while playing a game on a Twitch stream, whereas used to I only did that on Mixer, and the settings were a little easier to use because they were built into Xbox. So hopefully this goes okay. I do like Twitch has a higher bitrate going out, 6500, so that's nice. Fortunately, it's still capped at 30 frames a second, so some of these strobe effects and some of the high-speed bullets aren't going to look nearly as good on the video, but oh well. Until I get a capture card, that's just how it is. The Xbox people refuse to fix the game DVR situation, which would normally let this 1X cap at 60 frames a second. There, you can see at the bottom right there, it's taunting me. It's like, how do you like them? Ah, shit, I just got hit. I wasted my other energy. Well, that's interesting. It still gave me a bonus even though I got hit. I guess I had more full, so it automatically fired. Didn't count as me getting hit, so that's interesting. But notice how I only gain points. Level 2, Jet Set Corruption. There's the music starts amping up a little bit. Once we get to level 3, the music and the enemies and bullets, everything's going to amp up quite a bit. There's also kind of an interesting risk-reward mechanic you can do of purposely using the lower damage per second spread shot on the heavier enemies to keep them on the screen longer for more bullets and more stuff at once to possibly get your multiplier higher at the risk of them shooting more crap on the screen that you have to dodge. So that's kind of a cool mechanic you can add in for good replay value. We're going for score runs. I do wish they had a mechanic in here that would actually let you maybe buy an upgrade where you could pull in the power-ups towards your ship instead of having to go get them. But I think I'm just spoiled by some other shooters that have that. Man, my main issue in this game, more often than getting hit, it's like I accidentally fly into the enemy's bullets or into the enemies themselves. Like I just did. Beautiful. You know what? I think I might have actually forgotten to put the difficulty on novice. Did I? Seems like I don't have enough lives. After being more focused on maximizing score multiplier. Level 3 under hypnosis. So you can notice the bullet patterns are quickly starting to pick up. This is one of those games, unfortunately, where I wish it had the Tate mode, where you could make it pretend like the screen's rotated, and get the bigger viewing area and have the controls match. That'd be very handy, but oh well. Damn it. I actually got that one up that time on the far left. I usually miss that. This boss is cool. It has some cool patterns to it. Neat sound effects. I think this boss's name is Herr Kugelblitz. Sometimes they tell you the names of the bosses and those little between level tip things, sometimes they don't. This part of the boss phase is kind of annoying because you don't have any way to fire backwards. Ah, damn it! My stick just drifted me into a bullet. I do need to get my stick drift fixed at some point. Entering level 4. Here's where the enemies actually start seeming a little more Martian, a little less like steampunk. Okay, hopefully I can at least fill up 2 tanks here in case I get hit again, because I never know. I love the music for this guy. Ooh, that almost went bad. Oh crap, 1 second. Okay, nephewing them out while they were swimming. Okay, try this again. Oh, I was already at the continue point. Nice. Nikola Tesla once defeated a whole army of alien foot soldiers only equipped with a screwdriver. Level 5, Electrical Storm. Notice the music's getting a little crazier, bullets are getting a little faster, enemy density's picking up. I kind of like how the other earlier part has a little more of an electronic feel, but this little rock interlude's okay, because it's pretty much just for this part. Ah, fuck. Flew into an enemy. Game over. Continues unlimited. Interesting. Okay, I guess I did switch it to novice then? Okay. Start over, level 5 electrical storm. Ah, man, it's so hard not to fly into stuff in this level. Luckily, there's not too many instances of dudes flying at you from off-screen below you. That could get annoying real quick. But honestly, like a lot of other silly ones, and it makes me wonder if these three guys, if they're either industry veterans, maybe they worked at a different game studio before, or if they just really, play tested the hell out of their game to make it nicely paced and balanced. Either way, it has a lot of sophistication and polish that's not immediately apparent, but you definitely get the feel once you play it more. Okay, this is the part where the stick drift definitely might get me killed. Oh, okay, no, that wasn't stick drift, that was my fault. Entering level 6, Mind Over Mars. Okay, I think this is the last level, but it has kind of a grueling boss gauntlet towards the end. Notice how the bullet patterns are also becoming a little more tricky in that they also fall in the same place where the voltage cubes are falling. So you gotta be real careful about what you go after picking up versus what you dodge. Crap, I just accidentally fired a beam after it was already going off, and I flew into the boss's death beam, or game over. That was shitty. Hopefully I can make it through this last level with actual default continues. We'll see. Every destroyed enemy score gets multiplied by your multiplier. Surprising, isn't it? Well, no, that's how multipliers work, it's assumed. crap. That was a stupid death. Could have avoided. But then again, aren't they all? Okay, this time I'm going to see if I can avoid the incoming death beam from the boss. Makes it a little harder with all this other crap on the screen. Wow. I did not avoid that one. Oh yeah, that was just a mini-boss interlude fight, dang. Alright, here's the actual Emperor Zangorax, Martian DJ and would-be conqueror of Earth. See, he still has his fun little taunting things over at the bottom right. Yeah, he's asking if you can survive the Martian disco, because apparently disco's not dead on Mars, like it is here on Earth, even back in the times of Nikola Tesla. Gigantic success! You have defeated the Martian attack led by Emperor Zangorax. Now Martian cities lay in ruins while Earth triumphs over four-armed wannabe conquerors. Thank you for your incredible skill and endurance. Earthling, we salute you.
Atmosphere's no good. You say
Ah, yeah, see, that's why. Notice how they have 3 times as many testers as they did developers. That could say why the game's so polished. More companies need to do that.
You say you'll attack with your pathetic saucers. Well, we'll blast you into an atomic habits. Yeah, you tried to invade our planet. Oh, that's at least what you've intended. No, that's exactly what we've just prevented. What made you earthlings care? Don't you know there's misery everywhere?
Now that you've come this far, you might as well enjoy the song until it's over. Okay, so the arcade mode. Now those little missions I was talking about, they give you the different objectives, like finishing a boss with a multiplier of 900. What they do is they build pieces of these different machines. Like, for instance, that remote control down at the third, I believe it was, and the high generator on the left that had like 5 or 6 sections. What I'm working with Particle Crush, at still 2 more large components before this death ray. No, maybe it just fills in the rest of those pictures in the gallery. Unfortunately, you only get new active missions when you finish other ones, and there's no way to re-roll them. You literally have to get better at the game to progress that part. But luckily, it doesn't affect the availability of different difficulties. Okay, so let's pictures. Like they don't know how you actually. What is it? 6 are of the different bosses, and you saw those images during the credits. Those other pictures are actual real life ones, like maybe not that last one with the saucer picking up the cow. I don't know, that might be a real life picture, who knows. And unfortunately, like they say, you have to do a slideshow on here. Just look at them individually or scroll at your own speed. Okay, that's definitely a real life photo. Right there it says, "Dear Mother, today terrible Martian attack with my death ray." That's also definitely a real life photo. Okay, so this game's other mode is called Survival, and what this is, it seems like at first, because you can only move axis for you. What it does have is persistent upgrades that go between rounds, and different ships you can buy, different power-ups. Let me show you that. Right here, I already have quite a few upgrades, and I'm using one of the optional ships called the magnet ship, which is why you see it pulling in these coins and drops. Normally you have to go kind of chase them down with the default ship. There's also a shield ship, which gives you 1 extra hit, but unfortunately I already bought a lot of upgrades for the magnet ship, so I don't use the shield ship that much, because the upgrades get pretty expensive. They increase pretty quick, and there's a lot of upgrades, and I'd like to at least max out the ship. And I decided to stick with the magnet ship anyway, because it pulling in those coins seems to make it a little bit better for farming the money overall to get more of the upgrades. So I'm not even going to worry about the shield ship until I have this magnet ship fully maxed out. Up at the top left, beneath the coins counter, you'll see that thing that's showing the depth of meters, and that's actually what you're going for. You're trying to progress as far as you can, because enemies get tougher, but they also drop more money and better items. Right there, I just hit 40,000 meters. There's also achievements or trophies, depending on what platform you're playing are, that are related to your distance. So right there you can see the best distance I've hit so far was 76,409 meters, which is okay. But I know, even though I've gotten a few of the achievements for that, I know there's still another one at 90 meters, and there's one at, let's see, I believe the last one is like 120,000 meters or 130,000. So, this is a little upgrade shop. The first couple things, weapon, and that just makes it more powerful. The weapon upgrade you pick up in the survival mode are the ones that persist all your playthroughs. So, as you can see, this ship's weapon's at 21 right now, which makes your little green hitbox. I have it met ship, so it's at 14. Let's see. Yeah, the standard ship is your. I'll tell you what. These are the different items you can buy. I believe all these are one time, which basically for 150 coins puts you at 15,000 meters. This one puts you at meters right away, so that's just grades. You can get to better money. Those like a one-time use shield. Bullet cancel flash, that basically it's on the screen, and what's interesting is it says works once, but then buy multiple ones and you can use up to 3 in a single run. Freeze unit, which you think makes it easier to dodge or dodge enemies or dodge death beams. Which is literally a surprise. You pay 100 and it will randomly create an item, which could just be one of the enemies, or it could be something. One of them is for all enemies to drop stuff, whether it's upgrades. So all that stuff's pretty useful. You know, early on you want to save for like these persistent shield ship just for the heck of it, because that hitbox is really big. Wow. Yeah, let me buy a couple of these. And let me buy a couple weapon upgrades. Okay, those are still kind of bad. And then we are going to... I'm going to get a bullet cancel flash to show how it works. And I got to get a surprise coil because I love games. I don't know why, I just do. Okay, so notice how this ship is not pulling in the money or the upgrades. You have to go get them. But right there, I picked up a magnet power-up, so now it will pull in upgrades. I think that might only be temporary. I think it wears off. Anyway, as you go, you know, the enemies take a little longer to destroy. They have more health. They also drop more money or potentially better items. You also have that death beam that comes down sometimes from the boss you never really see, or maybe you do once you get past 120,000 meters. Roughly every 15 to 20,000 meters, they have that mini boss like you just saw. And as far as that death ray that comes down, it seems like at the lower depths, or when you have less upgrades, it seems like you have more of a chance of getting that death ray shooting at you if you clear too many enemies too fast. For instance, if you already have a lot of upgrades or a more advanced ship, but you're just like clearing through the easy waves, it seems like there's more of a chance of the death ray coming. Like right there, the death ray is about to come. Once you get to the further depths, like past 50,000 meters, it seems like the death ray comes more often and more consistently when you don't clear enough enemies. So it's kind of nice the way it goes both ways. It makes the overall challenge ramp up relatively smoothly and not too quick. And the other interesting part is that whenever you use to the 15,000 or 30,000 meters instantly, or game itself, like when enemies drop, the enemy doesn't necessarily follow the booster, so kind of get further ahead in depth. You'll have slightly easier enemies from a low depth. And I think that works better than making it so that every time you use the boosters and get to the further depths, you're immediately at the more difficult enemies, because your weapon probably wouldn't be able to match. You know, it wouldn't have the damage output for you to even get past the lines at that point, so it would kind of be punishing you, would, you know, make them pointless. So having that curve, that was a smart design choice, and that's another one of those little things that makes me think the developers might have had prior experience. Or then again, like I said, once I saw that this game had so many testers, that could also be what explains it. Okay, so I'm going to try get the time freeze unit. just to show it off, and then in a second I'm going to switch to my main thing, the magnet ship, so I can actually make some progress, show you some of the tougher enemies, maybe actually get past a few of the mini bosses. Okay, so this is the time to slow down, which I actually wanted to use my surprise item thing. I keep forgetting that I have to use it at the beginning of the playthrough. Okay, so this is distance 10,000 meters, this first mini boss. So I guess they're not always exact at a certain depth. Yeah, wow, man, this ship's kind of so much weaker than the other one that I have upgraded so much. It feels weird. It's kind of cool having that extra hit in case you accidentally do something stupid like fly into an enemy, which I do sort of a lot. Okay, right there, I activated the bullet cancel because I was about to get hit. Oh, and then I didn't destroy that one fast enough. Nice. Okay, let me go back to the upgrade shop. So I'm going to switch to my actual ship, the magnet one, that I have these nice upgrades on, and I'm going to grab the turbo boost to immediately get to 30,000 meters. Okay, I didn't use the other one fast enough. But I used that one, the random item thing, so now it increased the chance of all enemies dropping all stuff. So you notice they're already dropping a lot more money, and it got me a weapon upgrade right there. That more than doubles the DPS, it's really nice. Especially if you get it right before the little mini-boss. So you see the different types of enemies, as they get tougher or have more health, they also have better chance of dropping either better upgrades or more money. And as you get further in the depth, when you encounter more and different types of tougher enemies. So it's relatively linear, there's a little bit of randomness to it, but it also scales. And overall it's kind of fun, it's sort of basic and you can kind of play it mindlessly. There's also that element of persistent upgrades, so you're sort of, you know, farming or grinding towards something, even when you're just like screwing around mindlessly. And I like that because it kind of fills in a gap that I used to fill with games like Space Invaders way back when, or the original Geometry Wars. And they haven't really had other stuff like that on Xbox One, so it's cool that this came out. I'm glad I found it. Pretty much no advertisement, since I believe it's like a fully independent group, the Fleisch Films, the three dudes. And Klutz Games that publish them, I don't know how big they are. They might be big in Europe, but I had never heard of them here until I saw this. Very cool though, and it'd be really cool if they made a sequel, or if they have other games that are available on Xbox. I actually need to check out and see if they do, because I would definitely be interested in following their stuff. Okay, so we are at 63,000, 64,000 meters. Got another mini-boss. It's getting tougher pretty quickly. These enemies are taking a lot longer to kill, especially if you see the little iron cat mask-looking enemy. Those take a bit, but they have a good chance to drop good money. And damn it, I just got hit, so I wasn't paying attention. So that was at 72,000 meters. Still haven't beat the best of 76,000. I'm going to see if I can top that. Let me hit the shop. Let's see. Tell you what, let me grab. I'm going to grab the Lifesaver Shield, and I'm going to use this time to get to 30,000. There we go. Like I said, I like that you can kind of skip the preamble once you've advanced your ship some. Get the weak, easy stuff out of the way so you can get to the higher risk, more rewards faster. I always like it when games let you tune them a bit to be harder, offer better rewards, and or they let you skip earlier content that you've already played a lot to get to the later stuff that you maybe haven't played so much. I know some die-hard shoot-'em-up fans and like old school gamers don't agree with that mentality, but you know, fuck them, right? Fuck them. Ah, I just missed that safe. Blowing up that safe enemy, they usually have a lot of bonus coins. The glowing red enemies, whenever you see them, they will blow up the whole line of enemies and drop all the stuff, so that's nice. Especially if you can hit them while you're boosting through. Boost! Oh crap, and I just ran into one like an idiot. Okay, let's go again. Also, it seems like those red bomb-type enemies, it seems like they're totally random. I haven't noticed any correlation between any specific thing I do, performance-wise, that makes them more or less common. So I think they're just totally random. I'm also not sure why it is that sometimes these mini-bosses drop a lot of coins when you're hitting them, and sometimes they don't. So, yeah, that's another thing. I don't know if it's totally random, or if there's something I'm doing that's affecting that I'm not aware of. Ah, that double DPS is so nice. The one good thing about this, they all have relatively the same shape, huge hitbox, so even while you're dodging their patterns, as they get tougher, you're still pretty much hitting them the whole time, so that's nice. Okay, yeah, the enemies are already starting to get a bit meatier now, taking longer to destroy. Ah, crap. That guy ran into me and activated my shield already. I was hoping to save that till I was past 70,000. Okay, so now I just gotta watch out for the death beam tracker. Ooh, 80,000. I think I'm finally beating my record. Which, I mean, honestly, am I really, since I get all these upgrades anyway? It's like every time I come back, I'm a little bit better, so I don't know if you're really beating your record. I haven't seen any way to, like, reset your save data in here, and even if I could, I wouldn't want to, because I like having the progress. So... Ooh, 95,000 meters. And I just hit something. Perfect. Okay, let's see. There we go, I can afford a weapon upgrade for survival distance of 90,000 meters. Nice. Let me go back and try this upgraded weapon. Okay, yeah, wow, that's noticeably already hitting harder. Early on, the upgrades you get from the shop are the same as the upgrades you pick up from the enemies. They like put your gun up to the next notch, but once you have a few permanent upgrades to your gun, the ones you pick up just double, rather than like changing the shape and power of the projectile itself. So that's kind of interesting. Interesting design choice. Sometimes when you're boosting, if you can position yourself just right, you can make it where you hit 4 enemies in the line instead of 3, which gets you a little bit more money and better chance at items. And I used to get it a lot, now I kind of don't. I don't know if that's because I made my hitbox smaller. I guess that is why. I have the smallest possible hitbox for this ship. So I guess that's why it's way more difficult to be running into 4 enemies instead of 3. Which is, you know, definitely good when you're not boosting. Crap. Okay, let me get something here and try like, let me get a coil. me get a bullet cancel. Coins count double. Oh, nice. Good, I'm glad I actually didn't boost on this one. I can stay alive for a little while. Oh, really? Did I just do that? Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna try that one more time. More items. Okay, that's almost good. Damn it, I was hoping to actually kind of milk and farm that freaking double coins. I've never seen that before. Now that I have enemies that are dropping 25s. Oh well, that's okay. Hopefully that death ray thing comes down and aims the plasma ball at you is totally random. So if there's something I'm doing that's making it more common, I would definitely like to be doing less of that. It's really annoying when you're just trying to grab as much money as possible, as quick as possible, to go for upgrades and items. Boost! Yes, I love getting that upgrade right before a boss. At least I can destroy the cat heads a little faster now. The next enemy is going to be after those. It's going to be tough. Okay, so it looks like I have just enough time to destroy 2 cat heads right now at my current weapon power. I gotta keep that in mind before I try anything too risky. Oh god, okay, yeah, so the next enemy after in toughness after the cat head thing is that triangle. Okay, so I made it to 86,000 meters, my best was 96,000. Okay, let's see, I still have like 1 power. Let me grab one more thing. Then we will roll credits and end this bad boy. Gotta use that boost. Okay, so it does look like staying in one... Oh, wow, I've never seen this fix. Dang. It does look like staying in one place does increase the chances of the death ray thing firing. At least I know that now. Okay, let me see. Do I have any upgrades on the standard chip? Okay. 14. Yeah. So dang, the next upgrade on weapon is 23. I'll go for that before I shut this off. Damn it. Wow, still got 11 more to go. It's going to keep going up 100 coins every level. Oof, it's rough. It's rough, man. I do wish you could maybe select the music for the survival mode, like pick some of the tracks from arcade mode, or maybe even just randomly shuffle between all of them. Because just having this one track kind of sucks, since they expect you to grind in this mode so much, like repetition. That's okay, it's not bad. It's just, it's not as good as most of the music that's in arcade mode. Oh crap, I forgot I had that life shield on. I kind of just wasted it. Oh my goodness, that boss's patterns are insane. Okay, so for right now, I'll call it quit for survival mode. But before I close this all the way out, let me show you what this game actually looks like on the higher difficulty. Alright, let's show it on expert. Wow. Okay, that was actually a stupid death. Not because the game was hard, it was me not paying enough attention. I was glancing at something else for a second. Anyway, you can already notice that there's like more projectile types and more enemy types immediately present in this first level of the game. It's higher difficulty. You only start with 2 lives, but you can get that much higher multiplier. So if you're going for score runs, this is what you gotta do. The medium difficulty advanced really is a good deal harder than novice, and it doesn't get you that much more score. So playing this game as your skill progresses, you're pretty much going to jump from novice to expert, nothing in between, unless you like the dynamic difficulty, which what that does is as your multiplier gets higher, it'll shift the game up from novice to advanced to expert. It doesn't openly tell you what it's on, but basically you can kind of tell when your multiplier's below 500, you're going to have somewhere between novice and advanced. As you get to 1,000, it's going to be between advanced and expert. And when you get over that, it's actually going to be a little bit harder than expert is, which means faster bullets, more bullets, denser patterns. Enemies will appear more frequently. You might get more advanced enemy types earlier. Bosses take longer to kill, have more phases. The mid-stage bosses will be quicker to run away. Well, not quicker to run away, they take longer to kill, so there's more chance they'll run away if you don't do enough damage to them in a short enough span of time. The dynamic difficulty is kind of cool, but it caps your multiplier a good bit lower than expert, so it kind of messes up this game's risk-reward mechanics, and I think it's really more for like a novelty factor rather than progress or score runs, which are like the 2 primary reasons you play shoot 'em ups. Lord Oglemaster is the name of this first boss. It just said Lord Oglemaster. So it's been a while since I played this on expert. It's gonna be interesting to see how his pattern changes. So far, it looks pretty much the same amount of stuff. Looks like the only addition is the smaller flower-shaped projectiles also being present in these early waves. Yeah, this pattern's still the same. This part looks the same. Those bullets, they might be a little bit faster. Okay, he's moving laterally a little faster. Okay, and these bullets are definitely speeding up quicker, so that's what changed between the difficulties. These look like they're going about the same. Out. Game over. I wonder if that's because of how many times total I've tried the game. Okay, so let me show real quick the dynamic difficulty, and we will go to I like this one a lot. Electrical storm. Now, it's basic equivalent to this difficulty. There's my multipliers at 1. So it pretty much looks the same. But now, I'm going to wait till there's a lot of stuff on the screen. I'm going to fire that voltage burst and increase the multiplier. And you'll see the enemies start picking up, bullets picking up. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff. There's multiplier 155. That's not going to change it much. I'll do another one in a second when there's more crap on the screen. That. 205, that's still not much. 289. I'm getting there though. Ah crap, I flew into something like an idiot. So now my multiplier's back down to 1. So we go back down to the easiest bracket. I do notice that even when I'm on the lower multiplier, those little flower-looking yellow projectiles appear still, which normally they wouldn't. Novice difficulty, so it's not true novice. So it looks like the lowest setting in the dynamic, somewhere between novice and advanced, even when your multiplier's at the lowest. Herr Kohlblitzer, Kriegblitzer. Go bullet. I'm already out of voltage. Ah crap, I ran into an enemy. Ah crap, I ran into a bullet. Actually, that bullet legit hit me, man. Yep, that one legit hit me. Oh wow, you can even get game over in training mode. That's brutal. Alright, so that is TESLAPUNK. Made by these 3 flaff published by Klutz Games. I'm going to check them out on Xbox One right now, PC. Let's their stuff in the future.